Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Micro Podcast on Podcasting. I am your host, Christine Blosdale, and today we are talking all about personality, baby. Personality. So you just decided you wanted to create your own podcast show. That's great. You got your lighting, you got your microphone. Hopefully it's a Shure MV7. If it's not, don't worry. I have a link to this microphone in the show notes. But let's say you got all the equipment, you got your software, you're ready to go. You have the name of your show figured out and you're ready to hit record. Well, stop, wait. Before you do that, make sure that it's your personality that shines in your podcast. Now, some of you might be saying, well, how am I supposed to do that if I'm just doing an audio podcast and I'm not doing a companion video podcast so people can't see me? Well, people can hear you and people can feel you. And this is one of the things that I think is so important. And a lot of people who are just beginning in podcasting, they seem to not realize your personality is what is going to draw people in. They're going to have to like who you are. I listened to a podcast the other day, and it was great content, great subject matter. And what really kept me drawn in and what actually got me to subscribe was this gentleman's personality. I liked him. I would hang out with him and have a beer with him if I could. This is what's really important. Make sure that your personality, whatever it is, comes through so that you can attract those listeners that will be attentive to you and want to hear your shows. They'll want to subscribe. They'll want to say, oh my goodness, this person sounds awesome. I'd like to hang out with them. I'd like to know more about what they think is cool in the world. This is really, really important. And again, this is something that a lot of beginner podcasters don't realize. They think that they're going to just read a script, they're going to come up with a great show idea and have all the technical stuff. But one of the most important things that you can bring to your podcast and to your listeners and viewers, if you have a companion video like I do, the most important thing is that your personality shines and comes through. Now, sometimes it can be daunting. It can be a little scary coming out of the podcast closet, so to speak. But this is something that I really encourage all of my coaching clients to do, is to nail their brand, nail their image, nail their message to the world, and let their voice speak it. In other words, get more comfortable recording your voice, get more comfortable listening to your voice, and get more comfortable sharing your heart. Some of the most amazing podcasts are created by people who maybe become a little vulnerable during their podcast show, or who let their humor come out and make their listeners laugh, because sometimes in life we need a little, little levity, a little humor, so to speak, to help us get through some crazy times in the world. So today's podcast, the most important thing I want to drive home, get that personality out there, whatever it is. If you're someone who enjoys making people laugh or inspiring them or motivating them, that's when you really need to kick up that personality and draw in that audience right away. Okay, that's it for today's episode of the Micro Podcast on Podcasting. If you want more information about me, you can go to christineblosdale.com. The link will be in the show notes. I am a podcast coach and trainer, and I would love to work with you and get your voice and face out into the world with your podcast show. Until next time, happy podcasting.